So here we are, ready for some practice. We've got the smallest amount of drizzle going on at the moment. We'll see exactly what the weather forecast is as far as the track conditions are concerned. We're going to stick Vanessa and Bjorn out as per usual, given that Nicholas is absolutely ruddy useless when it comes to practice. And so far that's actually been working for him. So it's due to continue drizzling, at least for the next 3 minutes. That's as good as my forecasting is. With moderate amounts of dampitude on the track. The grip looks to be pretty low throughout. I'll see what my team recommend in this regard, but let's get the car set up. So tyre choice, soft. Yeah, I'm not. I think mediums might be the way to go. Getting a bit more use out of the tyres, especially seeing as the temperature for the race is a balmy 28 degrees. I think that having some harder wearing tyres might actually be beneficial. Right, let's get some downforce on here. 26 point change. What do we think about that? 26.1. It should be fine. Acceleration to top speed. We'll keep that where it is. We'll leave it exactly as it is, and see what people think. Let's go on. I mean, what's the durability difference? The slicks are the soft tires. They do have a much higher top speed rating, but the medium tires may allow us to persist for longer. Whether this is going to be appropriate during this wet practice, I don't know. But I want to get the experience in on the tyres so that we can benefit from that when it comes race time. Vanessa, meanwhile, will do the same. We'll give her exactly the same setup, and see if that makes a difference to her livelihood. Maybe just loosen off the steering just a smidge there, and see if that helps. They'll tell me soon enough whether they're happy with it or not, and then we'll figure it out. Right, let's hit the road. So we'll send Vanessa out first. We've already got the car set up how we want it. The stints are the normal stints, and we'll stick with the medium tyres on there. Off you go. Give the car a solidly good time, would you? Then Bjorn, he's also set up. His tyres are selected. Get out there, make a difference. Bjorn, why don't you? We're going to follow Silvera because obviously she's our name driver. And we'll see how she gets on. I can see that she's going to be complaining about the conditions quite quickly. But even though it might hurt us in terms of practice lap times, the experience gained on the medium strength tyre should offset that. Now, when we look at the other drivers here, Masalella and 00 are out on the soft tyres, which is interesting. They are obviously hoping that the race itself will be dry throughout, so that they can absolutely cane those speedy tyres. Everybody else who has yet to come out of the pits is slapping on intermediates, but we're gonna stick it out for a little bit longer. You can come in after this lap, Vanessa. Bjorn can stay out for an extra lap, and she loves the handling. Well, that's quite baffling. Let's up the tempo here so we're not around all day watching this happen. She might be loving the handling, but looking at the car that has been closing her down for a while here, she's not particularly quick. That said, whoever that is, who we can't really click on at this particular moment, they may well be running intermediates, which will make life easier for them. Now it's about to start getting drier again. Well, that plays into my hands, and that's good. So, what have we learned then, Ms. Silvera? Well, the downforce is neither here nor there. The handling is about right. The speed balance isn't. So a bit more speed and I don't know, I guess lower downforce maybe. Let's take it to 15. and see if that it changes her mood one way or the other. We'll keep the handling pretty much where it is. There we go, about there, and then we'll I guess we'll lengthen the gearing a smidge to see if that helps. With the medium corner, it's kind of tough to say, but I'm saying it anyway. You're good to go on that. Your tyres are fine. Get back out there. We'll issue Bjorn his come in, please. Your time is up. He's 1.6 seconds behind 00, who is running the speedy tyre. But actually, it's the intermediate drivers right now who are really benefiting from these conditions, and that's not unexpected. But this is all good. We're just the downforce feels bang on apparently. Well, let's not forget that as much as Bjorn does give better feedback than Hazel, he is still rubbish in that sense. So let's send him back out again. What does he say is good? Apparently the downforce was good. Okay, handling's great, and the speed balance is okay. All right, well, let's lengthen the gears a bit in the same way that we did with Vanessa. See if that makes a difference. We'll leave the down. Well, I don't want to leave the downforce alone, so we'll ease it off a little bit and see if that makes life any better. Handling is handling. Yep, stick with the mediums. I want to get the bonus for the medium tyres, if at all possible, and that's going to take that's going to take a bit of practice on medium tyres in order for that to work. Strategy, cane it. There we go, easy. Playmoto just set a really fast first sector there, which has allowed him to kind of head things up ahead of Hans 00. The downforce is now not quite as good, says Vanessa. Oh well, that's a worry. I'll bring her in again, and we'll fix that up. She may not record a lap time, but that's fine. I'd rather try and get a little closer to a good setup than anything else. So the downforce is now poor. So if anything, she wanted more downforce, not less. Whew, well, gracious. Okay, so that was where you were before. No, yeah, she wants more downforce. All right, okay. And it's made her, so she wants more acceleration and more downforce. So be it. We'll go for 16.5. You know, this is a good shake, more wing that we're adding here, and then the gear ratios, we'll shorten them up. No, actually, we'll leave them where they. No, we won't. We'll shorten them up a bit. We'll tweak the suspension, and hopefully that'll be good enough. Good enough is good enough in this case. Bjorn, get yourself in on the next lap if you would be so kind. And Vanessa's leaving the pits. Here we go. The changeable water. Oh, it's getting well wet now. We're going to persist with medium tyres because I've not once seen a driver crash during practice. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but I've never seen it. So if it's going to happen, I'd quite like it to be my guys who are the ones to crash all over the show. But it's all about getting the understanding of the medium tyre, and to see if we can't benefit from that during the race. I mean, if we can make them last so that we don't have to do too many stints, that'd be good. Plus, I've committed to this now, so going for the softer tyre, it's too little, too late. Right, drop the gear ratios down a whack. Let's up the downforce. Let's go 16.8. Feels wrong, but you know you've got to go with the feedback that you're getting. The handling's wrong, so we want to head towards understeer a little, which I think that might be an awesome maybe. Tyres are still good. I'm not sticking him out on intermediates no matter what he says. We've only got 2 minutes worth of driving time left to go. Hopefully this will lead to, I don't know, anything that could be described as beneficial. There you go, thrash it. Let's see what you can do with it if you absolutely murderate the car in this last practice section that you've got going on. Silvera may possibly be able to record a lap time, but we'll just have to see if she's got the time to record that or not. If she does, it would be nice. It'd be good to see whether we're on or off the pace. We're going to be off the pace because we're running on non-damp tyres. Speed balance is right on the money. It seems like Vanessa's quite happy with the new setup on the car, and that's not a bad place to be. So extra downforce has come up trumps. She's got good setup knowledge. Now this is the opportunity for Vanessa to steal back the illustrious first driver position. There really isn't that much in it between the two cars, but I know that she really wants the better one, especially since she's contracted to be our first driver. Well, if she performed a bit better as first driver, then she would get to keep first car. You know, that's really all there is to it. So we got lap times in. They were terrible as expected, but you know, that's okay. It's all about how we do on race day itself that actually makes the difference here. Thank you for that update there, Adobe. Right, now then, here's the private messaging, no, the public Twitter fans. Lena, say naive. She's very naive. I wonder if Bordeaux Power's boss ever wakes up in the morning and thinks about retiring, because that would be great. Or hurtful tweets. Bjorn Bjelland, really disappointed with the way things went in practice. We've got plenty to sort out before Sunday. It's okay, it was a tyres choice. Christine Ulrichsen, holy moly man, 00 was flipping amazing out there today, oh face. Which is not the same oh face that you might be thinking of. So it's race day. We want to finish 10th or better. I'm confident we can finish 10th or better. Given the temperature, check the temperature, 28 degrees, you see. Cooking the tyres is going to be a proper problem for people. And I want to endeavour to ensure that we come good with that. So what are we going to do? We're going to have your boy Hazel there. We're going to have the performance increase on mediums. It's such a gamble of going for a low stop strategy. But if we go, I mean, that's a 10% performance increase there if we take both the tyres and the trim. Or we could go with nurse and then strip the hell out of the car. Let's do that. Okay, and then as far as Vanessa's concerned, she'll go. We'll do that because we're planning to pit less than other teams. This is our strategy. It's what we're going to go for. The forecast is clear all weekend, all race rather. But you know, we need to consider this. I don't care what Hazel thinks about the car. The car is the car. You are now stuck with that. So 14 to 16 laps out of 28. If we can make that work, we can get away with one stop. But you're going to be driving slowly and you're going to need to keep an eye on the tyre temperature throughout because it's going to get hot. Those soft tyres are not going to do 10 to 12 laps. Not unless you are extraordinarily generous. If we can keep Hazel out, actually the fuel becomes more of a problem than anything else, given that fuel will last us 12 laps. Okay, right, well, does that change anything? No, it doesn't. We're going to stick with the flaming plan and see what happens, although I am now losing some confidence in the plan. Right, do we change the setup for Vanessa, or do we want to keep her on the soft tyres? Oh, I don't know. I had a good plan, and then it turns out my fuel tank's rubbish. So 2 stops at a minimum. At a minimum, 2 stops. And if we don't, I mean, we could nurse the fuel for the rest of the time, but frankly, doing so is going to be a total nonsense. You know what, Vanessa, we'll give you the speedy option here. Maybe we go out with an aggressive first stint, rinse the hell out of the tyres, come in early, then put on mediums, and see where that leaves us. But it's more interesting, so yeah, let's do that. Yeah, confirm it, but I want to reset your knowledge here. Given that we're no longer playing a medium plan, we'll go race trim and don't want that, do want risk taker. Okay then. All right. Let's strip some weight. Okay, so we're going to hit the suspension pretty hard and the gearbox pretty hard, but I'm confident in those to be able to stand up to the rigours of the race. Given that Hazel has got his nursemaid's hat on, we'll strip out as much as we can from everything else, which actually isn't very much at all. I think we can lose some off the gearbox, you know. It's a gamble, that's for sure. But an extra 60 points of performance, why the heck not? We'll do the same with Vanessa's engine. In fact, yeah, Vanessa's engine, we can drop a fair smidge there and get quite a lot out of that, which takes her to 309, whereas Hazel is only on 306. Face Hazel. We'll leave the... I don't want to mess with the gearbox unless I have to. But I think this is... It's only going to get me 5 points. So we'll leave that alone, I think. Okay, cars are stripped. Hopefully Hazel's nursemaiding capabilities will keep him in the race. But this is all gamblistic all the time. We're going to go on a push right from the get-go. Do I want to give her more fuel? It's worth 1/10 of a second a lap. And then just, you know, and then hose the hell out of the tyres. All right, yeah, let's do that, and then you can go out with. We'll do the same. All right, given that those tyres should last. Who knows, frankly. So here we go. It's Longo Plastic on the front of the grid, followed by Hong Lau and Steve Mush for Predator Racing. On the third row, you got Nicholas Wolfrath and Chris Shaw. Then you've got Xiaohua Wu Yao and Maiko Kitasato, followed by, on the fifth row, Vanessa Silvera and Kotso Masilella. Then you've got Sarah Thomas and Nicholas Hazel. On seventh row, it's Trolley Fodder for Archer BMR and Play Moto for Silver. Then you've got P. Ruto, Scene Mendez, followed up by Megahertz and Fenger Puppet before we get to the back of the grid, where it is Scott Price and the ever-dominant Hans 00, the Brazilian, always seeming to find a way from the back of the grid to the front by the first pit stop, it seems. So here we go. The lights are out and we're rolling. Vanessa's off to a belter of a start there. It looks like she might pick up a place immediately, and she has done. She's up to 7th now. She's picked up another place and up to 6th. Vanessa is clearly hungry for it, and I'm going to give her the opportunity to do even more if she fancies it, because holding an early good position is vitally important as she races up to 5th place. Look at this, and whoever that pink car is now in 4th doesn't look to be on the money, particularly as far as far as speed is concerned. But then Vanessa's not really closing them down much as they tear away on the first lap. Let's ease it back some. We're gonna be relatively aggressive here, but we don't want to be ridiculous in the process. Let's up to double speed as Vanessa takes 4th. She lose it again because she got the inside line. In your face pink car, whoever that is, that was a plastic. So that was probably Swans there that we just went past with her teammate Steve Mush immediately behind, and Vanessa's closing down 3rd. Hearing that once again Hazel has got the better car, she's going, no, he does not have that. I am having the better car. I am the #1 driver on this team, and therefore I demand results. And now she's got a little bit of breathing space ahead of her. She's really going for it. But we're going to have to ease up on the tyres a bit because they're hurting already. They are already redlining, the tyres. We'll do the same for Hazel as well. And hopefully I've managed to get them to ease off there before the tyre police get involved and wreck it for all of us. But Wolfrath and Wu Yao have already made a massive lead over everybody else. Wolfrath, in fact, is picking up 1/10 of a second per sector over Silvera, who does appear to be a little slower than those around her, as the tyre temperature continues to go up. And those tyres are really not going to last very long if she's not careful. We're not even looking at Hazel right now because he's in 18th. He can kiss that good car goodbye, I'll tell you that for nothing. We'll give it to Vanessa as she loses 4th place to Sarah Thomas, but then immediately takes it back again. She's like, no, Sarah, I want 4th place. I deserve it way more than you do. You stay back in your box there. I'm gonna make this happen. Looking at the tyre wear across the field, the mediums do seem to be degrading a little slower, but Vanessa has rinsed her tyres more than just about everyone other than Steve Mush, who's in 10th at the moment. This is quite the battle going on between Thomas and Silvera. There is no love lost between these two in the slightest. Hazel's on the radio, and we don't even care. So the tyre temperature, as you can see, we're on conserving tyres, and we're still hanging it in the red. We'll do the same with Hazel as well there, because that's not ideal. But he's rubbish, so you know, we're not even that fussed about that. Silvera now is looking a lot better, as I would guess Thomas is easing up. That's not really what we wanted. What's she doing? She's conserving her engine with the tyres on medium. It's interesting strategy there from the Firebird MRT driver. Vanessa's still got 3.5 laps in her. This is good. The tyres are right on the line, which should mean that she stays relatively competitive. But as far as Hazel is concerned, we're going to be looking for early retirements and mechanical difficulties, and maybe an accident would help her out here. He's struggling to overtake Kitasato, guys, and so what? What do you want from me here? I mean, that's your job. Well, do you want us to push the magic help you overtake button? Is that what you're looking for? Because I'm afraid I left that button in my other trousers. Right, Vanessa's being closed down now by double zero. Flipping heck. So up from 20th, currently in 5th. Double Zero is going to win this one, but his tyres are absolutely baked. What's he running at the moment? He's running incredibly aggressively, even though there's no life left in his tyre. He's in the pit lane. Okay, right, well, that settles that then. And in fact, we've got a whole bunch of drivers coming in to pit properly early. And given that Vanessa's running a very similar strategy, this has gone well for her. I'm going to tell her to come in. We'll get fresh tyres. We'll top up the fuel. Park condition looks... Ooh, those brakes look a bit cooked, don't they? But everything else looks pretty much fine. 37% risk. Gracious me, my pit crew are absolutely awful. But you know, it is what it is. Right, we shall pit. We'll come in for the same tyres again, and meanwhile we'll tell her to absolutely kill the car as she comes in at the end of this lap. Tyres are in great condition, given this early push. But it's the fuel. The fuel has led to her having to pit now, which is unfortunate. Had the fuel held out a little bit longer, which maybe means, you know, had I held off on murderating the fuel for a little longer, we might have got a bit more out of. We might have got another lap out of that. So I think we'll try that on this time out. Wolfrath is going to come in pretty much imminently. Masilella's out on mediums. Hazel's still on the track, and he's now in 7th. He's not what you might call competitive, but he has still got 2 laps worth of fuel to go, and his tyres look pretty sound. So this has worked out reasonably well for him. It's a question of whether he can hang in there as the race progresses. We're going to ease off on our tyres immediately here, and the fuel at the same time, to just try and stay out a little longer than other people and get more out of it. Double Zero is now in 8th, and he's going to close down everybody ahead of him with no real hassle whatsoever. As we take a quick look at Nicholas Hazel, yeah, we'll bring him in now. We'll stick him back out on medium. Staying out for the longer period is undoubtedly helpful. Park condition, spanking. Do we want a 50% risk? No, we'll go balanced. He'll probably have some kind of incident anyway, but you know, there's no sense in over pushing it. As Vanessa's tyres are heating up again, stick her on a conserve strategy with them. The temperature, I tell you, the temperature of these tyres is odious to say the least. As Hazel exits the pit lane after a bad time, Madana there screwing it for all of us, and likely ending his career as a Formula Amazing pit driver. So currently on the track, it's only 00 and Silvera who are running on the speedy tyres, and she's losing ground over the top of the pack, but she is picking up more over Finger Puppet, which means that 7th, it looks to be relatively securely hers for the moment at least. But she's treating them rather like medium tyres more than anything else. Somehow Wolfrath managed to get back out of the pits in first. Silvera is being closed down by Finger Puppet now. Oh, what are you doing? Are you being all aggro? No, he's not. He's driving like a vicar. Not a plastic one at that. He's driving like an absolute saint when it comes to those tyres. Silvera should be significantly faster than him, but is just not getting it done. That's a bother. Let's tell Nick to up his aggro a little bit. Yeah, Silvera is clearly the hold-up now as she hits 5th, because she's got 2 drivers right on her tail. Might be worth just pushing it ever so slightly to try and get some distance between her and them, and to try and maintain this position. It looks like 00 is going to be into the pits again within the next couple of laps. And that's gonna bother him some. We've got 6 laps worth of fuel left. There's 58% left on the tyres, but I can't really push the tyres much more than this because they're not going to take it. Megahertz ran wide, but it doesn't appear to have taken him out of the race. That's more a shame. We haven't had a crash in the European Racing Series since my first season, and let me tell you, that's quite disappointing. It would be nice to see the odd thrill and spill on this track. There we go. Vanessa's now got herself a bit of breathing space over Puppet, but every time we hit a corner, he closes right up again. But as you can see on the straights, we're managing to get a little bit better performance out of that. So hopefully she can continue to stretch what little lead she has over those next 2 cars, who are not letting go. It's Massilella and Puppet there, who are definitely keeping her in check. Now, if I were to ease off on the tyres a little bit more, it would open up the opportunity for me to properly floor it. As 00 comes in for his second pit stop, drops a long way down the grid in the process. In fact, he's now behind Nicholas Hazel, and he has dropped to medium tyres, which is weird because there's only like 5. No, you can't count. There's only 11 laps left. He is obviously planning to stay out there for the remainder of the race on that setup. Now, the good news is that if Silvera can make this current gear that she's running, she can make that last, then there's every possibility we can come in, get softs again, and maybe hard charge a little towards the back end of the race. Because these medium tyre sporting people, they may have the tyre consistency to stay out for ages and ages, but their fuel is going to run out just as fast as everybody else's. So they'll come in with good-looking fuel, good-looking tyres, but precious little fuel. 10 laps left to go. Vanessa's got just short of 3 laps left, so we'll leave her out for 2. The tyres look like they'll hang in there for that long. They're on 30% now. They've actually started cooling down a little bit. Let's check the temperature. No change. She is heavily defending against Finger Puppet, who is desperate to get past. But as much she wants fresh tyres now. Well, that's going to be an issue. Yeah, you see, the Finger Puppet is giving it everything she's got, beg your pardon, to get past Silvera. I will bring her in on this lap because her tyres ain't going to take any more. What are we going to have left? 8 laps left, so she's going to need to nurse it ever so slightly. Yeah. No, no, it'll be fine. No, she's going to need to nurse it. We will fill up. 8 laps left after that, but I want the opportunity to hammer it if we need to. The brakes don't look good. The acceleration doesn't look good either. The gearbox, that is, doesn't look too attractive. But frankly, we're in no pain, no gain territory here, and we're gonna risk it for more than a biscuit at this point. So Silvera loses out her 4th place to Puppet. It's not that unexpected, I suppose. We'll tell her she can overtake if she feels like it, as far as fuel is concerned, because she's coming in this lap. Hazel just set a personal best. Mush has got technical difficulties. Meanwhile, Hazel's cooking his tyres. Don't cook your tyres, Hazel. I mean, you could actually, if you wanted to, cook your tyres. You can cook your fuel. And Silvera's in from 6th, 5th, given that the free overtake she got there. She's in alongside quite a few other drivers. She's going to exit out in the low teens. And we'll tell her to go hard to start with, and then ease it back quite quickly. Is she going to get past quickly? Who's she got ahead of her? It's Puppet again. Now, Puppet seems to have the measure of her today, so we'll ease that off. We don't want to wreck those tyres, which hopefully will last until the end of the race. More of a concern for her is the condition her brakes are in. As Wolfrath has got engine problems again, not for the first time this season. He's having to come in, having wrecked it effectively, and Hazel's up to 7th purely as a result of his being able to stay out for longer. But he doesn't have a lot left in him. Maybe one more lap after this one if I go easier, or do I bring him in now? His tyres are fine, but they're not great. Wu Yao is also in the pits having some mechanical work done. Well, that's committed to this one then, isn't it? Hazel's going to pit from 3rd. We'll put him out on soft tyres to finish things off, where there will be 5 laps. So we'll give him a little bit less than a full tank there. Park condition, I don't really want to look, but that nursemaid flipping trait that he's got is amazing. In fact, I'm not even sure it's him. I think it's his mechanic. That is unspeakably good. We'll go in on fast. I mean, I don't think he's going to finish ahead of Silvera. But right now, we'll take whatever we can get. Silvera will stick back on conserve again. Plenty of fuel to play with. But there it is. If only Hazel's fuel tank carried just a little bit more, we might have been able to see something truly dramatic based on a bit of pit strategy. Playmoto's still out, but he's got halfway through his tyres, which means he's going to need to pit. I would be extraordinarily surprised if he were able to get back out again. As Hazel comes out, and look at the places dropped there. 14th, 15th, 16th, possibly dropping to 17th. Will allow him to be a bit more aggressive in that regard. But Silvera is now in 5th, which is quite the result. Now the question is 00 going to come in again? Because if he does, he's going to lose position. And that's going to come down to the amount of fuel he's got left. There's not an awful lot of laps remaining, but you've got to question whether he can hang. This is extremely exciting. Can we even see what his fuel is like? I don't think we can. But I would desperately love for the Garuda Racing driver to have to pit again. Vanessa's dropped to 6th. Stuff you, Ruto. Nobody likes you. We all think you smell. No, take it easy on the car, right? Just stay on the road. At this point, if we can finish in the top 10, as you know, we get our bonus payment. That would be nice. We could do with the money, given that Kurt was being completely tight-fisted. Looks like Ruto's going to get past Silvera as well. I'm not sure if she's if she's having mechanical difficulties or not. Yeah, we are. There we go. We've got a flashing hazard going on, and it's the brakes, and they're down to 15%. Oh dear. We've got 3 laps still to stay on the track. I think we're going to ignore it. We're just going to have to risk it. I don't want to know. We're aware that there are problems, but if Vanessa can stay out there, then we'll be in a good position at the end of the race. But honestly, she's at this stage we're performing once again the Millennium Falcon hold together, baby, hold together. Because a 4th place finish would be amazing. Puppet's tyres are on the way out, as are Hertz's. I don't know if that means anything or not. There's only a lap to go. I hope they're running out of fuel. That'd be nice. Right, here we go. We're on the final lap. This would be remarkable if we managed to nurse the car around to finish. Please don't retire. We really don't want to retire, as Hazel is actually making up some ground. Go on in, Hazel. Give it the works. It'll be what it is. Silvera there is clinging to 4th with a car that is falling apart around her ears, and she desperately wants the number 1 car. We're on the main straight, and there it is. 4th flip-in place. An excellent drive there from Silvera, assuming, of course, she's finished. She has finished. Sometimes I get a bit confused, you know. But there she goes. She's finished. Hazel somehow managed to claw his way up to 14th, but it was not his weekend. The mix and match tyre strategy appeared to pay off, as Masalella, for once, actually manages to finish a race with first place. 00, the much celebrated Hans 00, only managed 6th, which is 2 places lower than Vanessa Silvera. I mentioned this in passing. Not that means anything particularly, but as we look at the strategy here, nursing those soft tyres out for that first stint made a big difference. She came in at the same time as people on medium compound, and that's jolly helpful. Who's the tyre hero? Playmoto managed to stay out until lap 13 on his first set of tyres. Couldn't capitalise on it, finishing 11th overall. Masalella went for a 2-stopper. He should have switched to soft tyres for the last run there, I reckon. But hey, he won the race, so who really cares? Scrutineering's happening. Well, I could get busted here. This could all be for naught. But apparently the referee needs a guide dog. But there we are. So that's really quite splendid, as Silvera now with 2 stops. Take your 3-stop strategy and get out, Garuda Racing. Picks up a mighty 17 points, shattering the target set by the sponsors, so that money's safe as well. This gives her 10 points over Nicholas Hazel as well, so in terms of our individual team standings, this could be quite interesting. And there it is again. So Silvera has now overtaken Hazel to go 4 points ahead of her rival. But more importantly, as far as she's concerned, she's going to get the better car. We're not going to challenge for much higher than this. I think clinging on is what we're aiming to do this season. But I'm not concerned now that we're going to complete our team objective as we finish up in 5th there, 6 points ahead of Firebird MRT. A little bit more part development would be splendid, but frankly, the bank coffers are not looking great now. So, Yusuf Pilkington, the European Racing Series, only worth watching because of Hans 00. Oh, shut up. Vanessa Silvera, great job this weekend. I agree. P. Ruto, really happy with the result. Good. And JTV Sports, Hong Lao just told me there's not enough investment in the car from Dragon Race Team Timer, China even, blaming the tools there, Hong Lao. So a decent weekend and a very likeable result coming out of the other side of that as well. Vanessa's consistency shining through to help get her the position that we were looking for. Kurt is now back up to 86% happiness after just one race. Think of what it could be, Kurt, if you dipped into your wallet a little bit more. there. So here's the financial breakdown. We lost a bit of money, so be it. But I think definitely I am now unable to buy any more parts this season, which is deeply disappointing. But to be honest, I'll be dancing in the theme of the parts we've already developed anyway. So best to save the money and hope that the next round of sponsorship, when it comes through, manages to pay off. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching today. Another tremendous performance, just missing out on the podium by Bulldozer Power, and hopefully we will continue to improve as the season progresses. Chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to make sure that your season ticket is intact, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.